elected, I'll tell you who I've endorsed.
Yes, who have you endorsed?
I've endorsed the current Vice President of the Republic, a very good friend of mine, an innovative individual.
So you have also been whipped in line?
Whipped by whom?
That's what we hear.
No, nobody has whipped me.
But why are you endorsing him?
Because. Look at it. This is a man who, when I sit down with and I hear his ideas, it makes me want to see him become the president of the Republic. And you know, it's almost like a mutual admiration society. This is a man who will send me a message and say, thank you for the innovation and education that you are bringing into this country. I won't be surprised if tomorrow morning, he may be watching, if tomorrow morning I don't receive a message from him.
I see.
He tells me nobody can dim you, Dr. Adutwum, work for this country and I support you. In a time of difficulty, when people are criticizing for criticism's sake, Dr. Bawumia will send me a message and say, my brother, I'm with you. Work hard for this country. So when it's time for me to select in my own small way and endorse somebody to become the president of this republic, Dr. Bawumia is my man.
Alan Chamati has left the party.
I respect Alan. I've known him for a long time. When I was the president of the Ghana Association of Southern California, he was the ambassador of Ghana to US. So I met him in Los Angeles. He's a great man. He has everything it takes. But you see, there are times when the stars may not be aligned for you at a point. Let President of the United States of America, Joe Biden. Joe Biden ran for president and lost every time. Then out of the blue, out of nowhere, a young man comes called Barack Obama. Barack Obama then selects him as the vice president. Joe Biden then comes into the limelight and becomes president. His star was not aligned at the time that he was running. Obama comes. He is not rode on the shoulders of Obama, who can be his son, then to become the president of the United States of America. So the point is, there are times when you have to look at the environment. Don't despair. Your time will come. Maybe sooner than you think. In politics, there's no room for despair. When things don't go right, take a deep breath. Say to yourself, I have something to offer this great nation of mine. A time will come. I will offer that service to this great nation of mine. That is my attitude in the game of politics.
You think Alan Chamati should have read this season?
I will not advise him, but my personal opinion is that at times that the hand you may be dealt with may not be coated with sugar, may be bitter. Swallow the bitterness. Your time may come sooner than you think. The case of Joe Biden is for all of us students of politics to read, examine, admire, and have hope that one day your hopelessness may turn into hopefulness.
See that the data reflects reality. What is the guarantee that the data reflects reality?
The reality is the same reality that we dealt with in this country before free senior high school. Nothing has changed. What has changed is the input. Because if you look at the different things that have been done. Where do you find
the additional teachers from?
Oh, we hide them. We hide graduate teachers. Second year free senior high school, and we hide additional graduate teachers in this country.
People who have not been trained to be teachers.
No, they've trained. You see, the interesting thing going on in this country is that, graduate teachers are not placed automatically.
Who are graduate teachers?
Graduate teachers, those who do a bachelor's degree and they focus on specific subject areas like geography, education, like...
So those who study education as well?
Yes.
But that has to be done at Winneba or Kevas?
Winneba or Kevas and now Tech.
So people from Legon cannot be called graduate teachers?
They are graduate teachers, but they are not professional graduate teachers. They
so some of those people also
can be non-professional. But actually, there are so many graduate professional teachers, so you don't even have to worry about recruiting.
But what were they doing before? Why did you need to recruit them? I don't understand it. Were they already within the service?
No, you've graduated.
What were they doing?
You've graduated from Uniba.
Yeah.
You did Bachelor of Education in Fexes. You've not been automatically placed because you are not automatically placed when you go to Winneba and do education.
Oh, I see.
Well,
Like one who went to a training college.
That is it.
He's automatically placed.
Yes.
So from a Kropon training college, I am going to Infanteman.
Yes. No. You see, they don't do the single subjects. If you are doing any training at a Kropon, you may be doing junior high school education, you are specializing in 2 subjects for junior high school, or if you are doing primary education, you are studying every subject. So that is what in other jurisdictions they call the multiple subject. So they are trained for primary and junior high schools. Those who go to Winneba and go to Cape Coast, they are trained for the high schools because they are specializing in a single subject. They may do home economics education. They may do fixes education, biology education.
And it is them that are not automatically placed.
They are not automatically placed, and there are a number of them looking for jobs.
So they were in town?
Of course, they are still in town.
I don't understand. Why government didn't want to employ them?
No, because you were employed for space availability.
There was no availability.
Of course. So if I go to
Because
Presec,
Presec needed 1 maths teacher, and he was there.
that is it. And if I need more teachers at Presec, it will be maybe about 5 for a certain subject. So how do I put you there when there's no opening? So you don't automatically. It's just like as people who graduate as engineers. ECG don't say because you graduate as an engineer, hey, come, even though I not need people. So companies hire based on availability in terms of space. And same thing applies to those who do preparation for secondary education teaching.
So you hired all of these people?
Of course. We hired
And you were able to pay them?
Of course. I mean, let me tell you this. Maybe you are surprised. This president, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is super determined to change education and not education as an end in itself, so that you position the education system to change the socioeconomic fortunes of your country. That is something we as a nation have not really looked at. We've done education. When I say education, I'm talking about my child, my nephew. And I say, I want my nephew to go to Wesley Girls. Great. Oh, I want this person to go here. I want this person to go there. Everybody is struggling to see that their children get the best of education. Great. What does that education do for the country? So we are looking at education at the macro level, not micro personal level. And when you look at education at the macro level, that is when you are looking at how can I use education to change my country. And that is where you have to look at access. Am I giving opportunity for more people to go, for everyone to go? Why is that important at the macro level? The important at the macro level because talent is everywhere in the zongos, in the rural areas. We have children who are gifted and talented. It's just like I always say, creating a football team between 2 towns. One has 20 people who are eligible to form the team, another one has 200. All things being equal, the village with 200 people will have a better team than the village with 20 people. So in Ghana, if you restrict secondary education and say that it should just be the preserve of those who can afford to pay, you've left out the talent of that boy in subsidy, talented boy whose parents cannot afford. That boy at Enchi, that boy at Robonso, whose parents cannot afford to go pay.
But who may be talented.
Who may be talented. The nation loses that talent.
Oh, I get it.
So that is where education issues should not be discussed within the context of, I can pay for my son. No, we are looking at how can we harness all the talent that we have so that we can change the fortunes of this country.
Okay, but if you can pay for your son, why shouldn't we allow you to pay?
You see, let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you one thing. If you have this conversation with your friend, ask him, if your son is placed by the computers, right, the CPSS system, if your son is placed, and they are placed at Jache Pramso, would you pay?
No.
That is where the thing is. So all those who are talking about a lot to pay, tell them.
Yeah, but
it's going to be a fair.
My son will be placed. I would like him to be placed in Achimota.
That is the point.
Yeah.
So people are asking for fee paying. They want to buy the Achimota spaces.
Oh no, I'll let him go through the placement
So
system. And when he's placed in Achimota,
no, if it's not placed in Achimota, would you pay?
he has to get
No,
8 ones.
if
He should be able to get 8 ones.
No, people get A1, 6 ones, and I'm just asking you. You have a daughter.
No, to be
You
honest,
have a daughter.
to be honest, I don't want to dash Pamso.
Yes. So that is the point. Everybody that you talk to, ask them. All those who are saying, let us pay, let us pay.
So what's the point you are making, Minister?
The point I'm making is that people who are saying let us pay, they want to pay to take the spaces at Achimota. Now when you go to Achimota, the village kids are coming. The village kids are coming to Achimota.
And we don't like that.
30% of them. 30% of that are coming. We go to Wesley. There's a friend of mine who went to Wesley PTA meeting, and he came back and he said, oh, when I went to Wesley, there was a lot of parking spaces. I easily found parking. And I said, 30% of them, they took trotro to come to the PTA meeting. That's why you found parking everywhere. Now the
But that's distracting, because when my younger sister was at Wesley Girls, I used to go and visit her. You have to be sure you are getting there at 11, otherwise there's no parking.
Yes.
Oh, now there's parking?
Oh, now there's...
Where's everybody going to?
The 30% came with trotro to the PTA meeting. The poor is also there.
And they don't have a car.
You see,
so where are all the well-to-dos? Have they left Wesley Girls?
No, they haven't.
Where are the cars?
No, let me tell you. Because if you have a cohort of 1,000 students who are there at a time, you are not going to get all of them coming with cars. 30% will not come with a car because they are also there, right?
Yeah.
Once upon a time, they couldn't come there. You have people who were natives of Cape Coast, couldn't go to Mfansipim, couldn't go to Edisadal, couldn't go to all these top schools. One, they are from there, but they did not qualify to go there.
To the story of 1969, which we contend is very close to what is happening right now. Okay, so here is Joe Appiah, about whom some of our viewers may know very little. Once again, the PNDC people who took history away ensure that you will know who Joe Appiah is, because he died before you were born, he died before I was born, so they don't want us to know him. So they say, don't learn history. Thankfully, we are bringing history back. Okay, so this is Joseph Appiah. Very, very good guy. Very, very good guy. Now, I'll tell you something about Joe Appiah, which is recorded in his own book, which I'll show you tonight, his autobiography. And it's also recorded in Nkrumah's book. Appiah was the last person Nkrumah spoke to at the train station at Liverpool before he boarded the ship to come to Ghana, to Pa Grant's house in Axim, where he met J.B. Dankwa and Akua J. When Akua J asked Nkrumah to come to Ghana, because Dankwa had asked for somebody, and Akwaje said that I know Nkrumah, he's in London right now, he's attending the conference in Manchester and all of that, and I can get him to come. And he wrote a letter to the people in Manchester to give it to Nkrumah. Nkrumah came back from Manchester to London and told Appiah that I have been invited to go to Ghana, so I'm going. And Appiah was gracious to go with him. So that's who Joe Appiah is. Appiah was the last person Nkrumah spoke to before Nkrumah boarded the ship and came to Ghana. Okay, so Appiah followed back into Ghana and also joined the Convention People's Party. That's the history of Joe Appiah. Appiah also grabbed global attention for something that happened in the 1959, soon after Ghana's independence. Appiah was a student in London, like all of us went to study in London. And then he fell in love with a lady, a British lady. So knows the lady by first name, blah, blah, blah. They fall in love. And they are dating. They're getting very serious. Appiah then discovers, and these are the days where in the conversation of people like Appiah and Nkrumah who were living in London, they have nicknames they call the colonial masters, and they are not very complimentary nicknames of how they describe the colonial masters. Okay. So Appiah comes to the place with the boys, himself, Kankambuedu, Aram Ponsa, and others. And then he tells them that I have fallen in love with that I'm going to marry. Do you know who her father is? They said, no. He said, her father is a member of parliament. They said, okay. He said, no, not just member of parliament. Her father is the finance minister of England, the chancellor of the exchequer, who lives in number 11 Downing Street. That's the lady that Appiah is getting married to. And all of this is captured in Joe Appiah's book. I didn't bring a copy here, but I think it's available, maybe at the University of Ghana Library. It's a green and white book, Appiah, my autobiography. But I brought out the text. I'll show it to you. So Appiah then comes to tell his friends that he who is fighting colonialism, he's fighting neo-colonialism and fighting for independence, is virtually going to the slaughterhouse to get married to the colonial authorities' finance minister, the chancellor of the exchequer, Mr. Cripps, Honorable Cripps, I forgot how to pronounce it. Cripps, double PS, something like that. If you Google it now, I think you may see Joe Appiah's name. So Appiah is going to get married. And then Nkrumah says to Appiah that love is greater than everything else. So if you fall in love with the chancellor of the exchequer's daughter, Appiah, go ahead and marry her. We will continue with the struggle in Ghana. That shouldn't deter us from the struggle. We're going to continue the struggle, but we will support you in this matter. That's how close Appiah and Nkrumah were. So Appiah conducts the wedding at Westminster Abbey, and you understand what that means. This is the chancellor of the exchequer's daughter. So everybody, prime minister is there, everybody is there. And then the newspapers in England the next day, reported in Appiah's book, say that Lady Cripps, the vice chancellor's daughter, marries. They describe Appiah in some racist, I don't want to say it. But if you look at Appiah's book, it's there. It's on the front page of the Mail, the Times, and all that. This is a big story. So that's how Joe Appiah is a global phenomenon. So everybody is looking for, who is this guy that has come to marry? Why did Lady Cripps go and marry some African Negro? What is that? So this is 1959. Not long after the Second World War. So that's who Joe Appiah is. So Joe Appiah comes to Ghana and is a member of parliament from Ashanti region, okay? And Appiah starts getting disagreements with Nkrumah like everyone else did. It was very, very unfortunate. I mean, if you look at Appiah's relationship with Nkrumah, it's probably better than Nkrumah and Bedema, because Nkrumah met Bedema in Ghana, but in London, Appiah and Nkrumah were particularly tight. At the same time, Balfour Akoto has set up the NLM and is calling on Ashantis to come together and fight for the NLM. So Akoto makes overtures to Victor Owusu, Kankan Boadu, Joe Appiah, R.R. Amponsa, that they should come back and they should come to the Ashanti party. And somehow they oblige. So Appiah leaves the CPP and joins the UP. Okay. So they work together, struggle together, and then Buzia and Brankwa unfortunately passes in prison. And then politics comes again, and the UP says Buzia is the leader. At that stage, Joe Appiah is unhappy that Buzia has been selected as a leader. Alanche Martin is unhappy that Bawumia may be selected as a leader. Appiah is unhappy that Buzia has been selected as a leader. Appiah thinks that apart from everything else, Buzia or Bununi is not Oyoko. It's not Meshia Oyoko. It's not that. That's the sentiment that is being expressed by the people who write the narrative. But Buzia is not blue blood. That was a concern. I'm not sure whether there are any concerns like that today from Alanche Martin or not. But this is what Appiah is believed to have said. But Appiah wrote in his own account why he didn't join Buzia's party. At this stage, at 19 minutes past 10, I'd like us to read what Joe Appiah himself said about why he left the party to run as an independent candidate. It's as follows. Let's get to the story. All right. Biography of an African Patriot by Joe Appiah. It says, many people have asked why I refuse to join Buzia's party, rather choose to follow